Hey, did you see the latest earnings report for State Bank of India or SBI? It looks like they released their Q3 FY25 results.
Oh, yeah, I did. I was just diving into it actually. It seems like they've had quite a year, especially if you look at their profit growth. But before we get too deep, maybe we should give a quick overview of what SBI does, for our listeners.
Good call. So, SBI is like the big daddy of Indian banking, right? They've got everything from regular banking services to investments, plus a ton of subsidiaries.
Exactly. They're all over the place, both in India and internationally. And speaking of recent changes, it seems like they've been pretty active.
Active how? Late on me.
Well, according to the report, on August 9th, 2024, SBI actually sold off 2% of their stake in the Clearing Corporation of India Limited, or CCIL. It means CCIL is no longer an associate company. Also, the report mentions PT Bank KEB Hana Indonesia invested in 1% share of PT Bank SBI Indonesia, reducing SBI's stake from 99.56% to 99%.
Interesting. That's quite a bit of shuffling around. So, what's the headline from this earnings report? What are we looking at in terms of actual numbers?
Well, the numbers are definitely juicy. The net profit for the quarter stood at 16,891 crore rupees, a massive 84.32% jump year on year. Operating profit also grew by 15.81% to 23,551 crore rupees.
Wowza, that's impressive. What about their return on assets, ROA, and return on equity, ROE?
Their ROA for the first 9 months of the fiscal year stands at 1.09%, and the ROA is at a solid 21.46%. For just the quarter, the ROA was 1.04%, up by 42 basis points year on year. This shows they are utilizing assets and equity pretty well.
That's fantastic. What about income from interest? That's always a key indicator.
Net interest income, or NII, increased by 4.09% year on year for the quarter. The net interest margin, NIM, for the whole bank is at 3.01%. And the domestic NIM is 3.15% for the same period.
Okay, so profits are up, income is up. What's happening on the balance sheet side of things?
Credit growth is looking good too. It's up by 13.49% year on year, with domestic advances growing by 14.06%. Their gross advances have crossed 40 lakh crore rupees.
That's a huge milestone. Which sectors are driving this growth?
SME advances are leading the pack, growing by 18.71%, followed by agri advances at 15.31%. Corporate and retail personal advances are also up, registering growth of 14.86% and 11.65% respectively.
Nice. So pretty balanced growth across different sectors. What about deposits? Are people still putting their money in the bank?
Absolutely. Whole bank deposits grew by 9.81% year on year. CASA deposits, that's current account and savings account, grew by 4.46%. The CASA ratio now stands at 39.22% as of December 31st, 2024.
Okay, so the bank is growing, it's profitable, and people are still trusting them with their money. It's a good story so far.
It definitely is. Oh, and get this, SBI seems to be doing pretty well internationally too, growing in customer credit. External commercial borrowings, local credit, and trade finance business are major drivers of customer credit.
That's good to know. Now, let's talk about something a bit less exciting but super important. Asset quality. Are they managing their risk well?
They are. The gross NPA ratio improved to 2.07%, down by 35 basis points year on year. The net NPA ratio also improved to 0.53%. Their provision coverage ratio, including AUR, is at a healthy 91.74%.
PCR is always a good sign. What about new bad loans, the slippage ratio?
That's also improved. The slippage ratio for the first 9 months improved and stands at 0.59%. For just the quarter, it improved to 0.39%.
Awesome. It sounds like SBI is firing on all cylinders then. Profits are up, asset quality is improving. Is there anything they're not doing so well on?
Well, like they said in their presentation, they're always trying to balance things out. They're constantly working on improving their income streams while trying to keep costs under control. So more efficiency gains are always on the radar. But disclaimer, we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
That's fair. Everyone's trying to be more efficient, right? So, what's their capital adequacy looking like? Are they well cushioned for any future shocks?
Their capital adequacy ratio, or CAR, as of the end of Q3 FY25 stands at 13.03%. They seem pretty well capitalized, which is always reassuring.
Absolutely. Now, before we move on, let's give our listeners a quick recap. SBI had a banger of a quarter. Net profits soared, asset quality improved, credit growth was strong, and their digital initiatives seem to be paying off.
Precisely, it's like they're firing on all cylinders. Should we dig into their digital banking initiatives? I mean, everyone's going digital these days.
Definitely. What's SBI's angle on this digital transformation?
Well, they're really pushing it, especially through their YONO platform. They're claiming that 64% of new SB accounts are being acquired digitally through YONO.
No way. That's a huge number.
I know, right? And apparently, the share of alternate channels in total transactions has increased. Almost 98.1% of transactions are now happening through digital channels.
That's wild. So, is it just YONO or are they doing other stuff in the digital space?
Oh, they are doing a lot more. Let's see. Their digital leadership in debit card spends, ATMs, value, and number of mobile banking transactions is impressive. They have over 8.45 crore registered customers on YONO.
Wow, it looks like they're really committed to pushing the digital agenda. So, how does all of this digital transformation and financial performance tie into their broader purpose? Are they just chasing profits or are they doing something good for society too?
Good question. Well, they are really playing up their role in financial inclusion, mentioning the number of BC outlets and their performance under social security schemes.
BC outlets, you mean like their rural banking network?
Exactly. They're trying to leverage that channel for lead generation of asset products. And get this, they're also installing passbook printers at CSPs to improve ease of banking.
Nice. So they're not forgetting about the folks in rural areas. What else are they doing on the social responsibility front?
They're talking a lot about sustainability too. They've formed an ESG and climate finance unit and are supporting renewable energy projects with a vision to achieve net zero emissions by 2055.
Okay, that's a bold goal. Are they actually putting money behind it?
Apparently, they've sanctioned a bunch of limits for renewable energy projects and are also focusing on green building certifications and rainwater harvesting. Plus, they're doing a lot through the SBI Foundation, focusing on education, healthcare, and rural development.
Sounds like they're trying to walk the talk then, which is always good to see. They are contributing quite a bit to education, green environment, and skill development.
Definitely. And they're also highlighting their various board level committees and policies for better control and governance, things like their anti-bribery and anti-corruption policy and their cyber security policy. So what do you think so far?
Yeah, well, it's clear SBI had a stellar quarter and they're not just focused on profits, but also on sustainability and social responsibility, which is commendable. But what about the future? What's the outlook?
Well, the report is fairly optimistic and they are looking at ROE to be greater than credit growth. They are also open to raising growth capital if required.
All right. This has been really insightful. Thanks for breaking down these results for me.
No problem. Hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more financial insights.
That's right. So, to sum it up, SBI had an awesome quarter, showing impressive growth in profits, credit, and digital adoption, while also keeping an eye on asset quality and social responsibility.
Exactly. And they're positioning themselves for future growth while staying committed to sustainability and social impact. Plus, they're looking to maintain a healthy balance sheet and keep those non-performing assets under control. It's a strong performance all around.
Well, I think that's a wrap for today's analysis. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And remember to do your own research before making any investment decisions. It's always good to check with certified experts before making any moves.
Absolutely. Until next time, stay informed and stay invested responsibly.
Sounds good. See you all next time.